All right, guys, welcome back to the ALGS channel. Hope you guys are all doing well and having a great day so far. I am feeling amazing about this video because we got a lot of stuff to discuss. ALGS is being played for the Split 2 qualifiers. We've got some results to talk about. We've got some team changes, some roster changes. Imperial Hal talking about some legends again and things that they're going to be doing coming up in this next ALGS Pro League Split 2. I'm very excited. Also, I got my watermelon shirt on, getting ready to go to a birthday party. I'm feeling very good today. Hope you guys are all doing well. Let's go ahead and jump right into this one. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related, and let's go ahead and jump right into this. First thing I wanted to mention here, you guys may know that the Pro League 2 qualifiers have been going on. All of these teams have been battling it out to get into the Pro League here and basically kind of, you know, show their point, prove their point. And actually there was some discussion regarding the format of ALGS and the fact that there being a match point format in these qualifiers, and even Light basically saying match point for a qualifier is just a joke. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. Why are we doing it for a qualifier? For a grand finals or something, I think it makes sense to determine who the winner is going to be, maybe, but for a qualifier, I just don't feel like I understand or agree with it. And well, if you're wondering where all of this is coming from, apparently very recently the APAC North region has had their Pro League 2 qualifiers, and they had a match point format system in which it went to a marathon series. After match point was reached, apparently it became 13 games. It was unbelievable to see. I'm not really sure if this is the way we want to continuously go. I feel like once you get match point format 13 games later, I don't really know if you're really finding the most consistent team. I'm not even sure if they played 13 games in total or if it was 13 games after match point format. Regardless, I've seen a lot of match point format kind of qualifiers not go very well, and I feel like after time, considering that RNG is a factor, I feel like the grand finals, pretty much every team there is capable of winning a game or so. You know, it just kind of becomes mundane and hard to really determine whether or not we're getting the most consistent team winning consistently. I don't really know if that is the case. So regardless, definitely something to make mention of, because also people start playing differently. When someone's on match point format, you don't really just play to get as many points as possible. You're starting to play to make sure that the other person is not winning. So therefore, you're not really going for consistency. You're going to also kind of try to block a win. And I don't feel like that's what we should be promoting. And I don't really know if this is how it should all work out. Regardless, we do have some standings I wanted to mention. Rise Nation, actually, we're going to talk about them in a very short amount of time. But yeah, this is like some former Sentinels roster stuff going on over here. And these guys are in the grand finals as well. I think they're playing this stuff tomorrow because the Super Bowl is today. But regardless, definitely some pretty exciting stuff. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we had some final results here for the EMEA region, the APAC North, the APAC South, and South America region. And honestly, as going through this, I think the only teams I really recognized was Phoenix team from South America. I think the APAC South scene, I really didn't even notice anyone out of the ordinary. APAC North, we obviously had some people that we probably noticed. I think Predator over here, I was pretty aware of some of those names. And then Next Esports as well. And then also coming from the EMEA region, we had Phoenix Legacy, Rats, and then maybe honestly, other than that, I'm not recognizing a lot of these names. And so I'm pretty sure some of these teams are going to be your underdogs. I actually wanted to make mention here, coming from the EMEA region, Phoenix Legacy actually has Sabs, who's actually from the TSM female roster. You guys remember they just signed a female roster. I think it was Ava, it was Baron, it was someone else, I can't remember. Oh yeah, Janie that they just signed. Now these guys can't all play together because the ALGS rules state only one TSM roster can be represented at the ALGS. But basically, when it's any other organization out there for the esports scene, they might play together. But when it comes to the ALGS specifically, they're going to split up and play in their own regions. I think Ava might be playing with Janie, and then maybe they'll be picking up some other roster to form like a tripod situation, you know, where they're not really represented by FaZe, even though Nick Merckx is on FaZe. Same kind of situation there, and that's exactly what they've done. But shout out to Phoenix Legacy for doing an amazing job. And you know, it was really nice to see a lot of these teams step up and have the performance they were looking for. Coming from the North America side, number one team right now being on Team Bot. Stunny, you guys know, I told you guys from Team Furia, he's a content creator, he's coming back to play. We talked about it in a video maybe a couple weeks ago, and dude, he is popping off and looking very well. Also, some teams that you know and you love up here, Team Intel, Redeem. We saw all these guys, I think, in the Pro League last split, some of these guys anyways, and so it's good to see some of these guys back. Now, speaking of certain people coming back, we should know very soon where Albralelie is going to land. As you guys know, he has been trying to find himself a roster into which he will begin to compete with again. He did not have a great time with FaZe. Apparently has not had the most perfect time with the team he's been playing with recently, which I believe is Luminosity. And then also, you know, he had his runnings with TSM in the past. Things didn't work out. He had his runnings with other teams in the past, didn't work out. And here he is now trying to find out where he's going to finalize himself. We actually did an AMA stream last night, Ask Me Anything, to talk about some of the decisions that he's made in his career, and basically saying, I'm tired of stupid things spreading around on Reddit. I want to clear everything publicly, and let's talk about the future here. We actually had a clip right here saying why FaZe Apex's team failed so miserably, but the good thing is that he has learned from this, and shortly, he also says in this clip, he will know where his team is going to be, what his team is going to be, hopefully coming this week. And I'm going to be very excited to make an announcement on that, what team he finally lands on. Roll the clip.
Didn't your team was sniped down?
Yeah.
How was that?
For like a month.
Oh.
Yeah, that was my most recent team. No, did not go well.
What team do you play for now?
I'm LFT right now.
Oh, okay.
I've got like 2, maybe 3 options. I'll hopefully know who I'm playing with by like the end of the week.
Wait, who's your guys' third?
This guy Slurpee G. I don't know if you've played with him yet.
Okay.
You've been playing with Naughty, so I wouldn't be surprised if you have. He's fucking good.
He's a beast.
Slurp's good.
Guy shoots rockets. I don't know. At one point, like, he plays the game a lot. He plays it like a little bit less than like a perfect healthy amount, you know. But like, he's so good and like weird that it doesn't matter. Like, he doesn't have to like warm up. He'll just like fry right away off like a 2-week break. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, he's good as fuck. We just couldn't find our footing as a team. We didn't have a POI to land at because like we just started playing like a month maybe less after Snipe came back from Halo. And yeah, I didn't have time to like secure us good drop spots or anything, and we were reactive dropping, so our comps had to change based on the POI we were at. It was just so scuffed.
Like a shit show.
Yeah, it was a fucking horrible. It was a horrible experience to try to play in. I learned a lot, so I'll take that. Yeah, because it was my first split IGLing.
Oh, okay. That's exciting.
Yeah. Wish it went better, but I did learn a lot, so.
So I guess at the end of the day, honestly, it's good to know that he's saying that he's learned a lot, and maybe moving forward, he will have his feet planted a little bit better. I'm honestly rooting for him because I want to see big names thrive in the scene. I don't want Apex to ever lose some of their big, team members, people that have really been OGs, people that have carried that light throughout the Apex esports industry. I don't want to see those guys bounce away. I don't want to see them, get away from the Apex scene. I want them to thrive. I want them to have their moments so that they stick around. And honestly, I hope Mac finds the best team possible for them, and I hope that they do well. And I would like to see them maybe outshine some of the other bigger teams at points so that maybe he'll stick around for even longer. And I think honestly at the end of the day, script writing goes, that kind of stuff keeps the fans engaged, and I really would love to see it. Also wanted to make mention, we're going to talk about TSM Imperial Hal's a new legend apparently that he plans to use in the next season. We have a ton of roster updates, roster mania, roster changes that I want to rip through really quick that I think you guys will find very exciting. First off, you guys remember Team EXO at the ALGS. They played very well during the group stages. They kind of fell off later in the bracket stages, but honestly, they did pretty good for the time being, and they didn't even have their coach to begin with because like apparently ALGS screwed up. Well, I think EXO screwed up their roster stuff on Battlefy, but ALGS kind of wouldn't help them out and get their coach on stage, so he wasn't even allowed to talk to his players. Regardless, Zicky basically has said that he is leaving EXO and the roster because it's just mental health that he's trying to focus on here. And he says, I want to play games competitively, but just simply have fun. And 2 of those guys are the best and best of my friends. And I thank you, Exodus, and I thank you, EXO, for everything. He is the best brother. And unfortunately, you hate to see teams split up. I think they played pretty well. Regardless, this change will happen. And EXO actually went on to say that they're not only looking for a new person as a fragger, but specifically a controller player. I think it's crazy that we're like really dialing down the inputs here. Basically saying if you got aim assist, if you got a controller, you're the main person we're looking for. But at the end of the day, they are looking for a fragger in the ALGS scene. Also wanted to mention this, Spire Academy has just signed Natty 4K, Silent HNL, Oragu, I'm not sure if I pronounced that right, but I thought it was very interesting. Hundreds is up here. I'm assuming he's going to be the coach. You guys might remember it's Hundreds, popular streamer, former player as well. Going to be interesting to see if these guys make any type of upshaking in the ALGS. Also had a little bit of an update. Might as well go ahead and show you guys this. Rise Nation has finally announced. Rise Nation actually coming from the COD scene. Haven't seen them very much recently though. I think they're, I guess, more in Valorant and Gears of War now, but they're making it over to the Apex scene. They just signed Retsy from former Sentinels, Detox as well, and A1s. I hope I pronounced that right. Not really familiar with some of these guys. Some of those I am familiar with, but it is good to see that they are back in business. And not only are they back in business, I showed you guys the scorecards right here. They're in 11th place right now, and they're set to play the finals, I believe, on Monday. So good to see that they're back in the sorts of things. And also they had a pretty good running last night. I think this was one of the standings at some point, job not done, coming from Detox, that they were popping off and doing an amazing job. 122 points, 79 kills. People were saying that basically they were running through these lobbies like they were public matches, and I'm very glad, honestly, to see that they're finding success, especially Retzi and Detox. Like I said earlier, just a little bit less familiar with A1s. I am a little bit more newer to the competitive scene for Apex Legends, considering I just got back into it literally like last month or 2 months ago at this point. But regardless, good to see from those guys. You're happy to see people come back and thriving even better. Also wanted to mention here, Yaz apparently looking to quit Apex Legends competitive and maybe Apex altogether, unless an opportunity presents itself. You guys know that ALGS is hard. It is really hard to find consistent success in the esports industry for Apex, unless you're just simply the top of the top. I mean, if you guys are not getting the placements that you need, if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, it's going to be super difficult and super tough to maintain all of this stuff. And considering how big the Apex Pro scene is, we've got hundreds of people that you could deem as, quote, pro players, considering they're always playing in the pro community tournaments. Sometimes they do good, sometimes not so much. But regardless, if you're not getting those constant invites back to the pro league over and over and over, it's hard to keep qualifying over and over and over again. And I think this is kind of the sad reality of all of this stuff. And many people are forced to step away and forced to quit competing because the opportunities are just so few and far between. Also wanted to mention Scars has decided to part ways with their roster. And lastly, but not least, just before we wrap up this video, two things I wanted to mention of. People were complaining about the legend composition with the new changes and balanced nerfs and buffs that are coming into the game very shortly. Klain basically saying one of these is that with crypto being nerfed and not able to access the beacons, I'd like to see the beacons change across the whole map, because there are even less POIs playable on World's Edge now, because beacons need to be added to every POI and be made permanent as well, because there needs to be a permanent one in between POIs. And also PvP, I thought this was kind of funny, said that no changes to World's Edge basically is an L at this point. The last 3 lands were all won by teams who landed Lava Siphon. Now, that is a very interesting fact, but it's also very interesting that none of the match point games have ended on World's Edge. They've actually all ended on Store Point, according to Frex. So I thought that was very interesting, to say the least. But regarding legend compositions, Imperial Hal apparently have made it known which legend he plans to play in Apex Legends Season 16. I'll let you guys watch this clip as I'm ending the video. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys want to stay up to date all things Apex Legends esports related, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care of yourselves, and until next time, I'll see you later, Gators.
Is that far? That's gotta be far.
No,
Oh, but you can't, it's reduced?
taking it.
Yeah, like how long it stays up, I
Wait.
thought.
Is that?
That's how long it stays up, I
thought
feel like.
I read that as like, yeah, I guess. Well, that would make sense because you double the distance. It would last like shorter time.
Wraith now increases speed over time. Okay, that's cool. Increase weapon spread and gravity lift. Increase vertical spread of That sucks. That sucks. Damn. That sucks. Fixed an issue with the black hole that allowed it to pull players through walls and around corners incorrectly. That was a bug? Damn. Who are you gonna play?
Maggie?
Wait, really?
Maggie.
You heard it here first, chat.